Welcome to the Math Record. Today I will be covering the ICTM Regional 2015 Division A Algebra 1. Okay, let's begin. So they said determine the value of the expression a squared minus 2b plus 3c over b minus a plus c, where a is equal to negative 2, b is equal to 3, and c equals to 1/2. So next part is just saying write your answer as like a common fraction or proper fraction. So you just need to substitute in. So 4 minus 6 plus 3.5. 3/2, and then 3 plus 2 plus a half. Okay, so that's negative 2, so that's negative 4 over 2, so that's negative a half on top. Over, if that's 5, that's 11 over 2. So the answer is negative 1 over 11. Okay, and that's it. Okay, first question, pretty simple. Just plug in stuff. For all real values of x, 6x squared plus bx plus c is equal to 3 parentheses ax squared plus 3x plus 4. So since this says for all real values, that means both of them has to be the same. So 3a is equal to 6, so a is equal to 2. And 3 times 3 is 9, so 9 has to be equal to b. Okay, so that's it. So 3 times 4 is 12, and 12 has to be equal to c. Right, so adding them together, a plus b plus c, that's 2 plus 9 is 11, 11 plus 12 is 23. So the answer for number 2 is 23. Okay, number 3. The sum of the mode and medium is k times larger than the arithmetic mean for the set of numbers. So the mode is 2, I mean the mode is 2. And the median, let's put it in order, so 0, 1, and then 3 2's, then a 5 and 8. Right, so the middle number is 2. Okay, so the sum is 4. So what does the arithmetic mean? You add them all together. So that's 3, that's 5, that's 7, that's 12, that's 20. So 2, 4, 6, 7. Divide by 7. So that is your arithmetic mean. So 4 minus 20 over 7. That's the same thing as 28 over 7 minus 20 over 7. So that is equal to 8 over 7. So answer is 3. For 3 is 8 over 7. Okay. Pretty simple, the first three. Number 4, determine the value of 3x plus 2y over y is when x over y is equal to 12. So 3x plus 2y divided by y. So 3x divided by y is just 3 times x over y, right? And then 2y divided by y is just plus 2. So we already know what xy is. That's 12. So 3 times 12 plus 2. So that's 36, 38. So our answer for number 4 is 38. Pretty simple. Number 5. A prime number less than 20 is randomly selected. Determine the probability that the number is even. So let's write a bunch of primes all the way to 20. So 2, 3, 5, 7, 9 is not 1, 11, 13, 15 is not 1, 17, and 19. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8 of them. And how many are even? Only 2 is even. So there's only 1. So your answer was 1/8. Basically just that simple. Just list out and then find, I guess. Number 6, the slope of a loading dock ramp is 5 to 12 ratio for vertical height to horizontal length. So we have a ramp. The slope is 5x to 12x, right? Because I'm scaling, so the slope is 5 over 12 ratio from height to length. So the length of the actual ramp is 39. Okay, so determine the height of a dock and speed. So this is one of the Pythagorean triples you need to know, other than 3, 4, 5. The other one is 5, 12, 13. So 39 divided by 13 is 3. So you have to scale them up by 3. So 13 times 3 is 39, 15 times 3 is 15, 12 times 3 is 36, right? So our height, because you know it's got to be a 13, 5, 12, because it's 5, 12, and 39. So you kind of see that it kind of can scale up because this is multiplied by x. So x is going to be 3. So we know that our height, which we're trying to look for, is 15, right? This is right here that we're looking for. So it's just 5 times 3. Okay. Number 7. Let k be the number of values for x such that 5 is less than or equal to x less than or equal to 30, for which the expression 4x minus 5 is an integral of 3. So what I usually do for this is that I just plug in numbers in our calculator. So we have 4x minus 5 is equal to 3. So we had to choose numbers from 5 is less than equal to x less than equal to 30. So let's plug in 5 first. So 5 times 4 minus 5 divided by 3. That's 5. Okay, that's an integer. So 5 works. So let's write that down. Does 6 works? 6 times 4 minus 5 divided by 3. That does not work. That's a fraction. Okay, now let's use 7. 7 times 4 minus 5 divided by 3. That's also a fraction. Now use 8. 8 times 4 minus 5 divided by 3. Okay, that's 9, so that works. So 8 works. Okay, let's choose 9. 9 times 4 minus 5 divided by 3. Okay, that's a fraction, doesn't work. Now use 4 times 10 minus 5 divided by 3. That's a fraction, doesn't work. 11 times 4 minus 5 divided by 3, that's 13. That works. So we know 11 works. So you kind of see a pattern. So from 5 to 8, you have to add a 3. From 8 to 11, you have to add a 3. So let's see if 14 works if this pattern continues. So 4 times 14 minus 5 divided by 3. That's 17. That works. So this is going to be the pattern. So every single 5 adding to every single like 3 added to the 5, so 5, 8, 11, 14, 17, 20, 23, all the way to 30 works. So how many values are there? So we have 5, 8, 11, 14, 17, 20, 23, 26, and 29. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So our answer for number 7 is 9. And it's basically just that simple. Okay. Okay. Number 8, determine the values of 3x plus 4 over 7 when 9x plus 4 is equal to 3x minus 5. So let's kind of do the equation first on that side. So 9x plus 4. So uh, 3x times 4 is 12x, and negative 5 times 4 is negative 20. So that is equal to 3x is equal to 24. So x is equal to 8. Now let's plug it into the first equation. So 3 times 8 plus 4 over 7. So that's 24. That's 28 over 7. That's equal to 4. So our answer from number 8 is 4. Okay, basically just that simple. Number 9, a town's population increased by 700, and this new population, a town's population increased by 700 people. Then this new population decreased by 5%. So let's say x is our original. So it adds 700 people. And then it decreased by 5%. So it has 0.95 remaining. Okay, so 0.95 times x plus 700. X plus 700 parentheses. Now the town now has 20 fewer people than it did before the 700 increase. So the original minus 20. So let's find that out. So 0.95x plus 700 times 0.95. That's equal to 665 is equal to x minus 20. So subtract from this side. So 0.05x is equal to 685. So 685 divided by 0.05, that's equal to 13,700 is equal to x. So determine the number of people in the original population. That's just this. So 13,700. Okay, basically that simple. Number 10. Determine the value of k for which the equation 4 parentheses 2x plus k is equal to 8k plus 3 plus 12 when solved for x will have infinite. So when it have infinite, that means the right side must equal to the left side. So let's distribute that out. So 4 times 2x is 8x. 4 times k is 4k plus 4k. That's equal to 8 times x is 8x. 8 times 3 is 24. Plus that 12 is 36. So they both have the same thing, so 8x, 8x. Now 4k has to equal to 36. That means k has to equal to 9. So our answer for number 10 is 9. Okay, and that's our first 10 questions. So far, pretty simple-ish. Out of all the questions, not any of them are actually really that difficult. 9 is a little weird, but it's not really that strange actually. But so far, the first 10, pretty simple. Could get a perfect score if you know how to do it, right? And a is defined to be the largest integer less than or equal to a. So it's basically going to be a for function, right? So less than or equal to a. So it's like 5.1, then it's 5. If a is 5.1, then it's 5. Then this is equal to 5. If a is equal to like 5, then it's just going to be 5. That's what it means. So determine the value of 5 divided by 3 to the power 3. So let's put this in our calculator so we don't have to waste time. So 5 divided by 3 raised to the power 3, make it a decimal, and that's like 4.6296. So the highest is going to be 4. So that's your answer for number 11, just 4. Just that simple. Just use your calculator. It will save time super fast, and that's what you want in this competition. Determine the smallest integer x such that 1/2 or 2/3 of the sum of x and 6 is greater than 1/6 the sum of x and 30. So 1/2 of 2/3 the sum. So 1/2 of 2/3 the sum of x plus 6 is greater than 1/6 the sum of x and 30. Okay, so simplifying that out, this 2 cancel with this 2, so that's just 1/3. So 1/3 times x is 1/3 x. 1/3 of 6 is 2. It's greater than 1/6 of x is 1/6 x. And 1/6 of 30 is 5. So 1/3 minus 1/6 is 1/6, right? Because 1/3 is just 2 over 6. So 2/6 minus 1/6 is 1/6. So 2/6x is greater than 5 minus 2 is 3. So multiply 6 over both sides, so x has to be greater than 18. So the smallest integer, you can't have 18, so the smallest one is 19. So the answer for number 12 is 19. Okay, number 13. X is a positive odd integer. Determine the sum of all distinct values of x such that negative x minus 11 is equal to absolute value of x minus 11. So just because I see x minus 11 and absolute value of x minus 11, I'm just going to kind of graph it out. So it's going to be, let's kind of graph absolute value of x minus 11 out. So the graph, I'm going to change color, so it's going to be a little bit easier. So this is going to be a point 11, right? So because when it's 11, it's at 0. So then how it kind of looks is that it kind of looks like a V. Okay, so something like this. And then when you have a negative of x minus 11, what it kind of looks like is we're gonna have oh, the graph that overlaps is this side right here, because x minus 11 is the negative version is like this, right? Because if you distribute that out, that's negative x plus 11. And if you look at this equation and you put that at 0, so x at 0, 0 minus 11 is 11, 0 right here, right? Minus 11 is negative 11, and then so negative 11 absolute value is 11. So right here is 11. So that's why when it says negative x plus 11, it's just gonna overlap on this red. Okay, so we know our overlaps like that, right? And it goes on for like infinity, like also with the x, also with the red one for the absolute value. It goes on for infinity. So, but they said that x is a positive odd integer, right? So it only could go from here to here. So this one's at 0 and this is at 11, right? And it could only be odd. So 0 to like 11 and only the odds. So the only answers are 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, and 11, right? So determine the sum of all this. We have this 1 plus this 11 right here. Sorry, I can't draw arrows. This 1 plus this 11, that adds up to 12. This 3 plus this 9 adds up to 12. This 5 plus this 7 adds up to 12. So adding them all up to is 36. So might have not seen that pattern, but I've done these so much that you kind of see it. So the ending numbers usually add up to like a same number every single time. So our answer for number 13 is 37. I mean 36, not 37. Sorry about that. Okay, question 14. Let k be a positive integer base so that 28 base k is equal to 132 base 5. So when I do these, I usually convert them all to base 10. So how this works is that you have an 8 plus a 2 times that k. Okay, so that's how you do base 10 conversions. So the next one for 132 base 5 is 2, right, the units digit, and then plus the 10 digits times 5 raised to the first power, plus the hundreds digit time raised to the second power, so 5 raised to the second power. So you can probably see the pattern. So if it's like 1132 instead of 132, it'll be 2 plus 3 times 5 plus 1 times 5 squared plus 1 times 5 cubed, right? That's generally how you do base 10. And if you add more terms, just follow that pattern. Same with decimals, like 0.56. It's going to be like 5 3 times 1, right? Then 5 squared times that one. Then 5 times 3. Then 5 0 times 2. Then 5 negative 1. Oops. And then 5 to the power of negative 1, like if this is base 5, 5 to the negative 1 times 5, then 5 to the negative 2 times 6. So you kind of see how the pattern works. So 5 to the 3, 5 squared, 5 1, 5 0, 5 negative 1, 5 negative 2, right? And you add more than just follow the pattern. And that's basically how it is. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. And delete. So let's kind of just solve this. So that's 2k plus 8. That's 2. That's 15. And that is 25. So that's 40, 42 plus 8 is equal to 42. So 2k is equal to 34. So k is equal to 17. So the answer for number 14 is 17. Basically, just that simple. Okay. Number 15. Jeffrey drove to a town 25 miles away at an average speed of 50 miles per hour. The return trip along the route took 20 minutes longer than the trip to town. Determine the average speed. Okay, the average speed for the entire trip is going to be the total distance all over the time. So he drove 25 miles to there, and then he drove 25 miles back. So 25 plus 25 is 50. So his total distance that he traveled is 50. So what's the time? So the first time when he drove to there, he took 50 miles per hour. 50 miles per hour, and it's 25 miles. So he only had to drive half an hour, right? So he chose half an hour. And then the return trip took 25 minutes longer. So it's that half hour plus an additional 20 minutes. 20 minutes is 1/3 of an hour. Okay, so our average time is 50 over 1 plus 1 1 half plus 1 half is 1. 1 plus 1/3 is 4 over 3. So that will be equal to 50. So dividing by a fraction is the same as multiplying by its reciprocal. So 50 times 3 over 4. So divide by 2 is 25. Divide by 2 is 2. So 25 times 3 is 75. 75 over 2. And that's your answer. Or you could write 37.5. It doesn't really matter. You could write it either way because they never specified. Number 16. The ratio of boys to girls in a room is 4 to 5. Okay? So if 4 boys left and 5 girls came in, the ratio of boys to girls would be 2 to 5. Determine the total amount of students who were in the room originally. Okay, so the ratio is 4 to 5, so it's 4x over 5x. So boys to girls. So if 4 boys left, so minus 4 boys, but 5 more girls came in, right? So plus 5 girls. The ratio of boys to girls is 2 to 5. So the ratio is now equal to 2 over 5. Okay? So cross multiplying, so 5 times 4x is 20x. 5 times 4 is negative 20. So 5 times negative 4 is negative 20. 2 times 5x is 10x. And 2 times 5 is 10. So that means 10x is equal to 30. That means x is equal to 3. So the original, we have a 4x and 5x because those were the original. So we had 12 boys. These were girls, right? So there were 12 boys because 4 times 3, and the amount of girls is 5 times 3, which is 15. So 12 plus 15 is 27. So there were originally 27 people, and that was basically it. Okay, number 17. 3 to the power of x minus 2y is equal to 3 to the power of 2x minus y over 81. So determine the sum of x plus y. So usually how I do this is that I like to get them on the same base. So I see 3 two times, so this is probably going to be base 3. So 3x minus 2 to the y is equal to 3x, 2x minus y. 81 is just 3 to the power of 4. Okay, so this is the same thing as saying 3x minus 2y. So when you're dividing like two numbers with the same base, you just subtract the exponents. So it'll be 3, 2x minus y, then minus that 4. Okay, so that means our x minus our 2y is equal to our 2x minus y minus 4, right? The exponents have to be the same because our base is the same, right? To make it equal. So minus x from here, then plus 2x here, so plus 4. Then move the 4 to the other side. So that means our x plus y is equal to 4. So our sum is just equal to 4. So that's 17. And that's basically it. Pretty simple. Number 18. A number x is 3 more than twice the number y. So 2y plus 3 is equal to our x. Okay. The number y is 3 more than twice the value of x. So twice x plus 3 is equal to y. Okay. Determine the order pair x, y. So let's substitute y in here. So that's 2 times 2x is 4x. 2 times 3 is 6. Plus that 3, right, is equal to x. So 4x plus 9 is equal to x. So that tells us that 9 is equal to negative 3x. So x is equal to negative 3. Now we could plug in negative 3 into one of these equations to find the answer. So let's plug in this one. So negative 3 times 2 is negative 6. Negative 6 plus 3 is negative 3. So y is also equal to negative 3. So our answer is negative 3 comma negative 3. And that's our answer for number 19, for number 18, I mean. Okay, number 19. A rectangular flower garden on the grounds of Field Museum measures 5 feet more in length than 3 times the width. Okay, so let's kind of draw a general shape for this. So the field, so it's 5 more in length than 3 times its width. So we have a width. So it has 5 more in length than 3 times its width. Yeah, so 3 times the width plus 5 is equal to the length. Okay. And the sidewalk that surrounds the bed. So we have a sidewalk, right? So something like, I'll just draw the W inside because I want to draw a pretty decent picture. So 3W plus 5, right? So we have a sidewalk. Oh God. Okay, so something like this. Right, so that's our sidewalk, like this area right here, right? And then you plant the flowers inside. And the sidewalk is 4 feet wide. So right here, that's 4 feet. Like right here is 4 feet. Right here is 4 feet. Right here is 4 feet, right? So there's 4 feet wide. So the combined area of the flower bed and the sidewalk is 6,806.25 square feet. Determine the sum in feet of the length and width of the flower bed. Okay, so we need to find the length of flower bed and the width of flower bed and add them together. So that's gonna get our answer. So they said the area is 6,806.25 for both parts. So the entire length is this plus this other 4, right? So our width, I mean our width. So our width plus 8 plus 4 is 8. So W plus 8, that's our width of this entire thing, times our entire length, which is 3W plus 5, plus the 4 plus the 4. So 8 plus that 5 is 13. So 3W plus 13. That multiplies out to 680. Oops. So that multiplies to 6806.25. Okay, so let's kind of do this like a quadratic. So 3y squared, and then 13, that's 24. So that's 37w. 8 times 13 is, I believe that's 104. Using our calculator, yeah, 104. And then minus 6,806.25. We get minus 6702.25 is equal to 0. Okay, so we could use negative b plus or minus or 2a, or you just use your calculator and find out what the roots are. You could kind of like graph it. There's multiple ways to do it. So just find what w is. So plug it into your calculator to find the roots of what it is. We could get it's 37 and oops, negative 6702.25. Okay. So it's not gonna be the negative one, which is like negative 58.3333, etc. It can the width cannot be negative. It has to be a positive number. So the other one is gonna be the answer, which is 41.5. So that is gonna be our W. That's our width. So to find our length is just 3W plus 5. So the sum of the length of the width is 3W plus 5 plus the W, which is 4W plus 5, right? So then we could plug that in. So 41.5 times 4 plus a 5, we get 171. So our answer for number 19 is 171. And that's basically it. Okay, so kind of tricky, I guess, but it's basically, if you kind of draw your picture, you should be fine. 20. Determine the coordinates of a point in the fourth quadrant where the graph x squared plus 2y squared is equal to 33 and x plus y is equal to 1 intersect. So express your answer as an ordered pair x, y. So let's kind of draw a graph, a general graph. So the graph would look something like this for x squared plus y squared, x squared plus 2y squared is equal to 33, right? It's going to be somewhat of a circle, but this thing is referred to as an ellipse. It's a convex, right? It's an ellipse. Well, ellipse is a type of convex, right? So a convex is either a circle, an ellipse, a hyperbola, or a parabola. So a ellipse. So it's going to look like this, like a circle. It's like oval, actually. So at x, this x right here is negative square root 33. This one is at square root 33. Right? Because if you say y is 0, right, this is at the x-axis, right? Right? These both at the x-axis. That means y is at 0. That means x is plus or minus square root 33, which is at both these points right here. And now if x is equal to 0, we could get our y's, right? So if x is 0, that's 33 divided by 2, and then you take the square root of that. So then that's just going to be the negative, I mean, this one's the positive one. So square root 30, actually, this is going to be a large square root. Square root of 33 divided by 2. Square root 33 divided by 2. Well, negative square root 33 square root over 2. This entire thing. Okay. And they say that x plus 2y is equal to 1. So x at this point, so if y is equal to 0, that means x is equal to 1, right? So 1 is like somewhere around here, right? When y is 0, x is 1. So when x is equal to 0, y is a half. So somewhere right here. And then you kind of like draw a line between those 2 points to get that line. Okay. So that's our general picture. So determine the coordinates of the point in the fourth quadrant. So we need to turn it right here. So that's what we want. Okay, so we know x squared plus 2y squared is equal to 33. And we know x plus 2y is equal to 1. So let's kind of, since I see x is just by itself, I'm just going to have x is equal to negative 2y plus 1. Right, so I just move 2y to this side. And let's substitute it in. So then that's negative 2y plus 1 squared plus 2y squared is equal to 33. So this is 4y squared minus 2y minus 4y plus 1 plus that 6 plus that 2y squared, so that's 4 becomes a 6, and that's equal to 33. Okay, so 6y squared minus 4y, then minus the 33. 1 minus 33 is minus 32. Is equal to 0. So since they're all even, I'm just going to divide by 2. So 3y squared minus 2y minus 16 is equal to 0. So let's kind of clean this up so it looks a little nicer. And I don't need this either. Okay, let's move this up. This is what we just need to find. So it's kind of like a quadratic, right? So 3y, usually it kind of factors out well. So let's say 116, that doesn't work. 2, 8. Okay, 2, 8 works. So this one is going to be the plus 2, and this is going to be the minus 8, right? So 3y squared plus 6 minus 8, so that makes the minus 2. And then that minus 16, so this works. So y here is equal, so that's equal to 0. So y here is equal to negative 2, and y here is equal to 8 over 3. So you want this to find as the fourth quadrant right here. So the fourth quadrant is this quadrant. So this has to be a positive x and a negative y. So a negative y is negative 2. So it's not going to be 8 over 3. It's going to be negative 2. So our y is negative 2. Now we need to find our x. So we could just plug it into our equation, which is x plus 2y is equal to 1. So you can plug it into either one, but I suggest this one. So this is easier, right? So x plus 2 times negative 2 is negative 4 is equal to 1. So x is equal to 5. Right? So that is your coordinate of intersection. So your answer for 20 is 5 comma negative 2. And that's basically it. So out of all the questions, basically just know how to graph and know your exponents, ratios, and know your terms like average, which is pretty simple. Know how to do base change if you don't know how to do that. Graphs, like how they generally look like absolute value graphs, or like how graphs like conics kind of look. And that's basically it. Overall, this was pretty simple, but like out of the more challenging questions, maybe something like 19 or like 20 or like maybe 15, 16. But that's basically it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you at the next math record.